Talking back tonight, let's take a look at some stories that you're probably not seeing the mainstream media here in Australia covering with Talking Back tonight regular Nathan Bray. Hi, mate.
Hello, Christian. Hello, everybody.
Let's start with the latest from our mate Julian Assange and Wikileaks.
We've heard all the claims that Russia is to blame for everything in the US, whether it's from every media person, politicians, and they haven't really presented any real evidence. Well, Wikileaks has now. They've published their latest Vault 7 release. So this is 676 files, codenamed Marble, which details how CIA hacking techniques and how they can misdirect forensic investigators from attributing viruses and Trojans and worms and things like that from the CIA themselves. So they're using the source code of other languages as a scapegoat. In other words, the CIA can now do false flag cyber attacks, and they can blame Russia, China, Iran, anybody. So, I mean, let's face it, right? The whole point of hacking is to make sure nobody knows it's you, and yet the CIA seems to come out and says, look, we've got evidence to suggest that it's Iran, for example, or Russia. And then when you ask them what is the evidence, they say, well, it's classified. And now that the CIA can hack their own countrymen, and they can simply blame it on other nation states themselves. And remember, the CIA has no democratic accountability, and it's fast being seen as a criminal entity backed up by the evidence that we're now seeing uncovered by Wikileaks on a weekly basis. So the question for me is, what are the American people going to do about this criminal agency, or is there anything they can really do about it?
Nathan, speaking of Russia, Putin has spoken to the Arctic Climate Forum.
Yeah, that's right. So Vladimir Putin, he's come out and he said that the global warming is real, but it's been going on for a long time. And these man-made effects that the climate science points to as its primary cause probably isn't true. So he may very well be onto something here, because remember, Al Gore and his scientific experts who won an Oscar telling us that there would be no snow left on the Earth by 2014 in his film Inconvenient Truth. Well, it's turned out to be nothing short of a joke. And it's actually been banned from being shown in schools in the UK due to the false scientific facts that it is presented. So he could be onto something.
Chelsea Clinton has also talked about global warming issues. This should be very interesting.
Oh, this is interesting. And
it's not Bill Clinton, not Hillary Clinton, but their daughter, Chelsea Clinton, who apparently is
and they're even saying she's going to run for president or something like that coming up as well.
Fantastic.
But you can't make some of these things up, right? Now, this statement, which has been noted by the American Mirror, saying that Chelsea Clinton has gone to Twitter recently to express her concern that climate change will lead to 100,000 new cases of diabetes each year. So it's not going to be fast food or sugary drinks or a poor diet. It's going to be the weather that causes people to have an increase in diabetes. So now the whole impetus behind this study is this 2015 study. Guess how many adults were in this study, Christian? Do you think it's 1 million, 100,000?
Well, for something like this, I'm sure 10 million people, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's a total of 8 adults.
Wow. Who
had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and found that after they spent 10 days in moderately cold weather, they had improved metabolism and thus became more sensitive to insulin, which helped reverse key disease symptoms. I mean, I could find 8 people who smoked all their lives, Winnie Blues or whatever they're called, and never got cancer. But I'm certainly not going to go to Twitter, especially, considering now Chelsea Clinton, she's just got this big board job on Expedia for a minimum of $350,000 a year. I mean, what does this woman know about science? What does this woman even know about, online travel to get a board job? But, this is me now getting angry.
And you'd think that she'd at least get a sample group of 10 or 12 people before she has any credibility. You would
think at least. Next president.
Yeah, that's the next president, ladies and gentlemen. You think this one's a wacko. Wait for the next one. Although Michelle Obama's probably going to be in the middle there, right? So there's a lot to look forward to. African green monkeys. Tell us the latest about African green monkeys, Nathan.
Yeah, that's right. So it's been proven that vaccine manufacturers harvest kidney cells from African green monkeys to produce vaccines that are then injected into children. Now, many now are wondering just how many of these monkeys are actually sort of captured, euthanized, and processed into vaccine ingredients each year to make these FDA-approved poisonous jabs. So Natural News was the group that broke the story and then was attacked for making this story up. And of course, They just returned fire by saying, well, all they were doing was reporting what was in the vaccine insert provided by the CDC, or the Centre of Disease Control. Now, these ingredients are indeed being used in childhood vaccines. Many parents aren't aware of this because most of the time the doctors and the paediatricians aren't actually showing them the vaccine package insert. So it does make me wonder, I mean, how many parents actually bother to ask for vaccine inserts and check out the ingredients? Or more importantly, I mean, how many doctors actually provide them to the parents in the first place? I mean, you've got a daughter. Is it something that you do, or?
No.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, you do it with food, don't you? You kind of go, okay, well, I'm going to check what's in my kid's food, but I couldn't imagine many parents actually saying, right, I want to check what's inside this vaccine.
And finally, Nathan, tell us what those wacky funsters in the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been up to.
Sergei Lavrov, he actually wins the April Fool's Day with amazing Russian foreign ministry pranks, okay? So what he did is this came out and said that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia, they developed an answering machine tape for Russian diplomatic missions abroad. So here's the message, you ready? He says, you have reached the Russian embassy. Your call is very important to us. To arrange a call from a Russian diplomat to your political opponents, press 1. To use services of Russian hackers, press 2. To request election interference, press 3. Wow. And wait till the next election campaign. Please note that all the calls are recorded for quality improvement and training purposes.
Wow.
So even though Russia is under attack with not a lot of evidence, they certainly are having some fun with it.
Yeah, Putin and those wacky funsters there in Moscow having a good time. Nathan Bray, thanks. We'll catch up again next week.
Cheers, mate.